So I'm growing up in I'm growing up, no. I'm ministering in Lethbridge, and in Lethbridge at the time when I was there were, no kidding, 28 black people. And so I got asked a lot, hey, where are you from? Right? And so I never knew what people actually meant when they asked me that, where I'm from. And so I would respond, Lethbridge? They said, no, before Lethbridge. I said, oh. And then I'd say, Calgary. Right? And then they'd go, oh. Then they'd walk around for a little bit or whatever. Then they'd come back and ask, okay, where were you born? And I go, oh, okay, I was born in Guyana. And then they're like, oh, okay, all right, so you're not from here. Right? I guess not. No, I'm not from here. Right? I get asked that a lot. And so in Lethbridge, though, I was a bit of a novelty. It was neat. I was, one of the only 28-bit tall, dark, very handsome. Thank you very much. Good. These guys are learning right up front. Okay? All right, good. So that was cool. And then I go golf a lot. Well, as much as I can, not a lot. And so when I go golfing, the best part is you golf for maybe about 4 or 5 holes or so, right? And you go along just fine, playing your game. Now, I'm not the best golfer in the world, so when I make a mistake, I always yell out, rat diddly dog! Rat diddly dog! Right? And so I say that a lot between the first 5 holes, right? Because it takes me about 9 holes to actually warm up, right? So rat diddly dog! And so anyways, I'm doing my stuff and so on and so forth, right? And anyways, this guy I'm golfing with, this one time, it happens a lot, mind you, and he, he asks questions just a little bit here or there, but he doesn't want to just put right out something. And so then finally he asked me something about so what do you do, right? Now, the other 2 guys that were golfing with us, they weren't using the expression rat diddly dog when they messed up. I mean, it was filth, farth, and profanity they were using, right? And but the guy that was watching me, and then eventually he goes, okay, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a youth pastor. And he goes, yeah, I knew it. I knew you were a Christian. I just knew it. I could tell. All right? Now the other guys, when they heard that, they were like, oh. And they replayed all of the things that they had just said for the last few holes, right? Then they're like, oh man, I'm so sorry, Pastor, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's all right. I asked this guy to come to my shoe store and fix and put in some speakers for me, right? And so he's putting in the speakers. Now this guy's crotchety. I mean, he's this old guy that had this cigarette and a cigarette, and he had this gravelly voice, right? And so he came in, he's just like, he's just fussing, and like there's no tomorrow, right? And then he's up on the ladder, and my job is to hold stuff and just give him things, right? And so he's up there on the ladder, you know what's wrong with the world? And he tells me what's wrong with the world. He wants to tell me what's wrong with the world. So he goes on to tell me what's wrong with the world. Politicians are I mean, you should have heard of me, right? And then he goes, now I'll tell you the other thing that really about this world. I said, what's that? He goes, born again Christians. I'm like, oh, tell me about them. Like them born again Christians, right? And he just goes on and on. I'm like, tell me more. Tell me more, man. Come on, get it all out. Just tell me stuff. Right? And he's like, yeah. And he's going on and on and on and on, right? And then finally he's done. And then he says to me, so, this the only thing you do? This shoe store? And I have a shoe store on the side, right? It's not what I do. And I said, no. I said, and I cracked a corny joke. I said, I like to touch souls. Get it? So, okay. I'll get your counselors to explain that one to you later. Yeah, and he goes, no, really, what do you do? I said, well, you know those born-again Christians that you were talking about? He says, yeah. I said, well, I'm one of those. He says, no, you're not. And I said, yes, I am. He said, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. He goes, you can't be. And I said, why? He says, because you're so normal. And I was offended. I said, normal? I don't want to be normal. I want to be extraordinary. I want to be out of this world. I want to be different. And I said, normal? I said, that offends me. He says, don't be offended. He says, but all of the Christians that I know, all of them born again people, they are, and this is what people use to describe the church. And they say that church is boring. He says, you're not boring at all. I said, I don't know what church you've been going to, dude, but I'm sorry about that church, because he should be here at Qwanoes and see some excitement. He should be here tonight when we bust out and have a party tonight. It's going to be awesome in this place. I want to talk about going against the grain, out of this world. Let me pray, and then we'll get into it. Oh, Lord.